You're welcome to Prime Business. Coming up, as prices of petrol are expected to witness a more than 7% jump from this week, we'll hear from an energy specialist who says the country must improve its refinery capabilities to reduce the impact on consumers.
Getting some of this locally. I mean, you have a local refinery that is robust, that is efficient, that our BDCs can source this oil locally. I mean, this finished product locally. I think it will guarantee us competitive strength. But at the moment, I think we are not seeing that yet.
Plus, an exclusive with the group CEO of EcoBank, Ayitey. He will be sharing his thoughts on the policy rate hike by the central bank.
Some of the policy rate movement now is to reduce demand for foreign currency, because that also has certain other problems and effect on us.
All these stories and more coming up shortly, but we will begin with commodities. Hello and welcome. I'm Charles Ayitey. To our first story, energy specialist Dr. Yusuf Sulemana is calling on government to invest substantially in the country's crude refinery capabilities to reduce the impact of global prices of the commodity, of course, especially when it's having a toll on consumers here in Ghana. The price of petrol is expected to witness some significant increase from this week. Data secured from the bulk oil distributors shows that it should be going up by more than 7% per litre. But Dr. Sulemana spoke on the marketplace, saying that more capabilities must be put in place to cushion consumers.
Consequences for economies like Ghana, especially for us, the kind of model that we operate, that I always mention, that it doesn't guarantee us any strategic advantage, it doesn't guarantee us any competitive advantage. And what's the model here? The model here is that we produce crude oil, not that much, but at least we churn out some crude, we export some crude oil, and we end up also importing almost about 100% of what we consume as petroleum products. If assuming we were to have a way of, balancing some of this instead of getting some of this locally. I mean, you have a local refinery that is robust, that is efficient, that our BDCs can source this oil locally. I mean, this finished product locally. I think it will guarantee us competitive strength. But at the moment, I think we are not seeing that yet. I'm told we have a private refinery coming. Oil is still there. So we are urging, on urgent basis, we're urging the policymakers of the day, the government of the day, to take this serious. That at this moment, refinery is a savior that we need in the country. We need to have a refinery running. If you have a refinery running at this moment, it's going to serve as a big cushion, and it's going to serve as a serious pressure relief for the cedi, for the dollar, and then the like. So yes, we do have the strategic advantages. One is the refinery. The other one is storage capability, as in boss. We have to reactivate all our storage capabilities because that is also a strategic strength. When these global things are playing out, if you remember, US released severally some quantum of petroleum product from their SPR, that is their strategic petroleum reserve.
Okay.
That is a national security, a contingency measure or contingency response. Do we have that? I say no, we don't. We do have the infrastructure in place, but we haven't activated that. So I urge that we, on urgent basis, let's look at the refinery, let's look at our storage capability and revitalize these things. Because this thing is cycling. It will come back again. Even if we get off this particular problem, it will come back again. And when it comes back again, we should be in a position to be able to support ourselves.
Well, EcoBank Group Chief Executive Ayitey has also described the Bank of Ghana's recent policy rate hike as needed, citing current market development. It follows criticisms from some businesses that the rate hike will further compound the current challenge of access and cost of credit. This is because the current inflation hike is supply-driven. But Ayitey maintains that there is still some level of demand-driven challenge that should be be checked by the Bank of Ghana. He spoke to Joy Business on this and other developments at the bank's AGM.
We have inflation, okay, so there is no question about that. But a lot of our inflation is also supply side. If we don't relieve the supply side, in other words, if we are not able to increase our supply, if we are not able to diversify our sources, we are not able to plant our food properly, if we are not able to reduce the post-harvest losses through investment in having those silos and properly storage facilities, if we don't do that, that supply side inflation, food inflation, is going to continue. Okay, and we don't want that to continue, and that's why I said that we don't want to be victim of war we did not start. That's the first thing. The second thing is that don't forget, fundamentally, coming out of the COVID, we realize that we've outsourced our reliance to one country, and therefore people are now saying, you know what, we should be able to make face mask. We should be able to make simple gowns. We should be able to, those things that we should be able to, we should be able to process our own cereal that we use for breakfast. Because all of you see that those things during the COVID, they will have to be imported. So our companies are now beginning to realize that, and they are retooling their factory to be able to do those things. And also, people are also retooling their factory because they can see that in their market is no longer the market they used to have before. We talk to a lot of customers that are talking about, with this Continental Free Trade Agreement, I'm no longer just processing for Ghana, I'm no longer just processing for Kenya, I'm not just processing for Nigeria, I'm actually processing for my region. And all of those things are opportunities, are projects that people are doing. We are also seeing our government, they're also coming to the party. A lot of governments are now creating industrial parks. So those things are investable opportunity, bankable, that is going to allow us to alleviate the supply shock that we're having now that is creating inflation. If we don't do that, then we are not solving the problem. If we do that in a very intelligent way, then those projects are not white elephant. Those projects will
You talk about, say, that inflation is supply driven, and even in the region and even in other developed markets as well, we've seen some significant hike in the policy rate as well. Do you think that it's a real challenge?
So the question is this: when I say supply shock, food inflation is supply shock. You can draw a line between wheat shortage to what is happening in Ukraine. So that's supply shock. You can draw a line between what is happening to the non-availability of chips for manufacturing devices. You can draw a line through that, right? So what I'm saying when I say supply side is a large component of the inflation. Of course, there's the demand side that has been there fundamentally with the money slush when the interest rate was zero. But our interest rate was never zero in our countries. So we've not had decades of zero interest rate. You see, a decade ago, the interest rate in Eurozone fell below zero. So we've not had that. However, we have to. Some of the policy rate movement now is to reduce demand for foreign currency, because
away from that, Access Bank Ghana has developed a loan scheme specifically to support small and medium-scale enterprises. The Instant Business Loan is a loan facility that allows borrowing of up to about 100,000 cedis without collateral. Group head for retail banking, Matilda Santia-Siedu, revealed that she revealed this actually at the SME capacity building workshop organized by the bank, of which we have more in this report.
Bank Ghana held an SME capacity building workshop for entrepreneurs in and around Kaswa in the central region. Group head for retail banking, Matilda Asante-Esiedu, emphasized that the workshop is vital to enable businesses access the instant business loan.
We have a very unique product. It's called the Instant Business Loan. I think one of the complaints that most businesses have in Ghana is that when you go to try and borrow money from a bank, they'll say bring this, bring that, bring that. So we introduced the Instant Business Loan. And what is it? It's a loan product that enables SMEs, whether they're small or big, to borrow up to 100,000 Ghana cedis. And we don't require much, really. It's essentially the stock that you're bringing, and we weigh the stock, we quantify it, and then we're able to give you the loan. But we don't just give loans, because at the end of the day, if you give a customer a loan and you don't provide the non-financial service support for them to manage the business well, to repay you over time, you find that the loans go bad. And so that's why we're doing workshops, clinics, seminars, just to empower them with the tools to effectively manage their businesses.
Some participants shared their experiences at the workshop.
Today we learned about digital tools that would help us keep proper records of some of the transactions in our business. That is taking most of the things we do manual, digital, and also how to be able to market our products on social media. So today's session has actually been very impactful to me personally, because that means I'll be doing away with all the manual records.
It really enlightened me on how to keep data, how to check my stuff, and how to monitor how expense or whatever I do, and at least to keep check on my finances. At first we used to do the normal manual entering data. They get missing, then you go back to square one. But with this, you do at least doing it digital. It helps you monitor, have access to it, do any changes, then at least monitor how you do your spendings. That especially helps you not to overspend, or at least to track your finances.
The workshop was themed Boosting Digital Skills for Emerging Opportunities.
Now, in its quest to ensure students in the engineering and built environment exhibit green building technology using the EDGE application and the utilization of the greater efficiency design to support the economy, the International Finance Corporation is organizing the EDGE Net Zero competition for university students and young professionals in the country. According to project lead for Ghana, Kenya, and Nigeria, Dennis Kwanzaa, such initiatives are needed in underdeveloped nations to help train young engineers and architects to adopt technological advancement to execute projects. Here's more.
Green Design Competition will be the second in the series after the maiden one was held in 2019. The objective of the competition was to allow participants to exhibit the simplicity of building green to impact the environment while improving building comfort and affordability. Project lead Dennis Kwanzaa explained that this will assist in unearthing talent in the engineering and architectural space.
And with time, we realized that students were the main people that also need to understand green building, because in the various universities and tertiary education, we realized that they didn't really have like a structured course on green building. So when the students, architects or student engineers come out of school and come to the markets, they sometimes do not really understand what they have to do. It becomes a new term for them. So we said, okay, let's get to the schools, let's get to the universities, and then start training them from that stage, so that once they come out of school, all they know is doing very efficient designs. So it becomes a part and parcel of them.
Meanwhile, Akosia Sewa Mensa project coordinator said the Zero competition is aimed at reducing global warming as well as ensuring sustainable architecture.
IFC EDGE Green Building Challenge is a design competition organized by the IFC to expose students to green building in general. The maiden edition was in 2019. And it was mainly done with the Central University students. We didn't want to expand it too much because it was the first one. So we wanted to have a group that we could control and not stretch ourselves too much. And this second edition, we've opened it up to more institutions. So all the universities and other schools who are training building professionals are all invited to this second challenge. And we also have included the maiden competition was purely a student design competition, but this second edition also includes a building awards scheme for professionals.
A member of the jury, Kofi Esel Apia, described the initiative as welcoming to support students to broaden their knowledge in the architectural and engineering field.
Well, this is a very exciting phase of EDGE where it's being spread on a bigger level. Exciting because this time it brings the professionals into the picture as well, and it encourages the young ones about this. We all know what is happening in terms of the high emissions, and the fact of the matter is buildings account for about 40% directly and indirectly of gas emissions, and the whole world has come to realize that we need to do something. Architects and engineers have a key role to play in this, and they will be required to show knowledge about how to reduce this in the designs that they churn out. So we'll be looking for levels of knowledge demonstrated through design. We'll be looking for innovation, and we'll be looking for some local content applications to get the right solutions which are adequate for Ghana.
The winners of the competition will be in two separate categories. There will be an award for student category and another for young professional architects, engineers and building professionals with less than 3 years of work experience.
Away from that, leading recruitment solutions platform Jobberman Ghana says it is moving from just a digital recruitment company to a talent management company with a focus on both digital and hybrid recruitment, manpower outsourcing, partnerships as well as business training. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Jobberman Ghana, Hilda Nimo-Teku, her outfit will develop and connect great African talents to job opportunities with the main idea of becoming Africa's solution to bridging the talent gap. We have more in this report.
Launch of the Unlocking Next Talent Management in Africa, Jobberman Ghana says it is transforming and becoming more dynamic as a talent acquisition company to unearth more talent. The company revealed that its mission now is to develop and connect great African talents to job opportunities. Jobberman Ghana Chief Executive Officer speaking to Joy Business indicated that her outfit will dig deeper into talent development through learning and upskilling to ensure that African youth are well equipped for the labor market.
Jobberman Ghana has been working under the umbrella of ROM, which is Ringier One Media, One African Media, for over 10 years. And we are rebranding under the African Talent Company. And what this rebranding means to us is that we are going to be doing a lot more than the digital recruitment that we do. What people know Jobberman for is for digital recruitment. You come and post your job with us and it'll help you find people. But we've gone beyond digital recruitment. So we help people do offline search. So if you're finding like you have an executive role that is very difficult for you to fill and it's time consuming, we do that for you. We also do outsourcing, so manpower outsourcing. And I think someone was asking me earlier, when you want to focus on your core job, but you have a lot of staff and you have a high attrition rate and you have a churn, and always recruiting can be very cumbersome. But this is what we do. We're a recruitment firm. So you leave your outsourcing with us. We will recruit, we will train, and we will retain the staff for you. And when they leave, we easily replace them for you. So you don't have to worry, and you do your core job. As part of what we do is also partnerships. So we want to make impact within Ghana and within Africa. What can we do? So apart from helping people find a job, what else can we do to affect the African continent as a whole? So African Talent Company is here to broaden the scope of what Jobberman Ghana does. So we are not changing our name. We are still going to be Jobberman Ghana, but under the umbrella where we are able to do more to support businesses in Ghana.
Chief Executive Officer for the African company, Hilda Kabushenga Kraga, explained the need for the rebranding.
So the African Talent Company is the new umbrella entity which will house the Jobberman brand in Ghana, in Nigeria, as well as the Brighter Money brands in East Africa. And the essence of this is to expand the mandate of our very successful job platforms across Africa to beyond just a marketplace. So we want to move, we've expanded our work, we want to focus not just on digital recruitment, which we are market leaders in all our markets, but also move on to to a lot of hybrid recruitment, meeting the customer where they are, whether it's offline or online. I'm thinking about outsourcing and BPO, which are new ways of working in our markets that are quite popular as well. And finally, also working with partners and partnerships that aim at upskilling job seekers and preparing them for work. This is to make sure that job seekers on the platform also get benefits beyond just trying to find a job. How do they grow? How do they build their careers? How do they even understand how to be successful in the workplace? So this is the goal of the African Talent Company, and the reason why we've expanded our mandate such that we can be more relevant to the labor market of today and of tomorrow. The way people are working is very different. There's more remote work, there's more temporary work, there's more offshoring, there's a lot more outsourcing, so that's one thing. The second thing is that it really showed, because when everything was locked down, a lot of people in other countries could quickly get jobs on the internet or whatever, but it showed a gap in the African talent space. How do we upskill our young people to make sure they can capture such opportunities, especially given that we have the largest labor force, by 2050, the African labor force will be the largest. So we had to rebrand, understanding that if we're to be relevant in the future, it starts now.
Jobberman Ghana says it is committed to investing in the e-learning space and partnering with organizations that are determined to cause a change.
That'll be it for Prime Business with me, Charles Ayitey, but I'll leave you with international business news, after which Orieko Ampofo comes your way with Prime Sports. Do stay with Joy News.